A man with a contemplative bent of mind, he spent 3 years of his youth traveling with Hindu yogis to distant lands on the borders of Kashmir, Balochistan, and the Third Desert. Later in life, he founded the village of Bhittai on the shores of Kar Lake in Sindh, and thus came to be known as Bhitai, literally of the sandy hill. The Shah Jo Risalo was compiled as the Ganj-e-Latif by Shah's disciples, and first published 114 years after his death by a German called Ernest Trump. It comprises 30 surs, or sections or chapters, corresponding to various ragas of Indian classical music or to Sindhi folk tales such as Soni, Sasui, Leela Chanesar, Umar Marvi, and Mumal Rano. In order to get a better idea of the lyrical quality of his poetry, we're going to introduce some pieces of music into the program. And the music of Shah Abdul Latif is structured in the form of a vai. So the Sindhis call it a vai. And it composes of 2 sections. One is the refrain, which is sung by one person and then picked up by other members of the group until it rises towards the chorus, which is then sung aloud. The first selection is from Sur Kalyan. Kalyan in Sindhi means peace. And it's basically the sur is about lessons in the love of God and the nature of God and the laws of mystic love. Shah Abdul Latif says, "From oneness came allness, the allness is oneness all. The truth is the only true one, so do not in a Babel fall. Everywhere is only his call, of the God, by God only. He is himself God of all glory, himself is beauty's soul, himself is image of a beloved, himself the elegance goal. Himself becomes follower or guide, himself the thought and role, and all this knowledge whole is known but in the inner self." Next selection is from the sur right after Sur Kalyan. It's called Sur Yaman Kalyan, and it means to keep peace within control. And by extension, it can also mean the continuation of a blessed state, or a continuation of the mystical experience. Alasti in his book says, "The desirous soul is familiarized well with the norms of the numinous culture. That is, laws of God are specified for love of God. Says, go and ask the candle moths, how do they burn on fire of love? Why to light they bring themselves, on the flame theirselves shove. Darts which them there drove, infixed were already in souls. Call yourself a candle moth, seek out then the secret fire, burning that has burnt up many, burn down burning that entire. Not to others this transpire, extinguish it and knowingly. Call yourself a candle moth, wince not back seeing blaze, that you be a blushing groom, enter ye its glowing gaze.
Oh Allah, la 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 la, Jilati,
The tale you just heard Sohrab Faqir sing was the tale of Saswi, which tells of a beautiful girl in the town of Bambor. A prince from Turbat named Punu comes to Bambor and falls in love with her. Saswi's family sets the condition that in order to marry Saswi, he must forego his princehood and live with them as fishermen. Punu's family is not happy with this and abducts him and takes him back. Sassi follows him into the desert and there dies in their journey. Punu, freeing himself from the family, finds a piece of her shawl stuck in the sand where she got buried in it. And he too dies of grief there and is united with her in death after they had been parted in life.
सब आपसे